So you just got your first RV. You're excited, probably a little overwhelmed. It seems like there's a lot to know when you get your first RV. I'm going to show you the top 8 things that I think is necessary for a brand new RVer to have to make their experience a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable. With that said, let's get started. First thing I recommend is a good pair of gloves. These gloves right here, I got these at Home Depot. And they're pretty good gloves. Fit my big old paws. Get those on. Now we're ready to get to work. First thing you do when you arrive at your campsite, before you unhook your trailer, of course we have a fifth wheel, so it's a little bit different with us. But with your travel trailers, first thing you need to do is you need to level it side to side. So item number 1 is going to be a level. Now, this one right here is a 24-inch level. I can't remember where I got it. Lowe's, Home Depot. Now you're going to take that, you're going to set it on the inside of your trailer. Open the door, obviously. Level the trailer side to side. Now, if you're off level, next thing you're going to need is you're going to need some levelers. Now, these are the Camco ones. Everybody talks about the Anderson levelers. It doesn't matter which kind you get, as long as you get something to help you level. A lot of people use the blocks and stack those up. I'd rather use these because these can also act as your chocks. Now, we have a fifth wheel now, so we're not using those Camco levelers as often as we did when we had the travel trailer. Every time we set up in the travel trailer, we would use them. With a fifth wheel, and if our site's really uneven, that's when we would have to pull them out. You don't want your tires to come off the ground when your automatic leveling system is level on your fifth wheel. Not safe and not stable. So 90% of the time in our situation, we're just chalking up the wheels. Now, you're not going to go get cheap plastic chocks. No, you get a really heavy trailer that can smash those things if you hook up and try to pull away. That defeats the purpose. You need some heavy duty ones. These are hard, solid rubber. Got these at Harbor Freight. Believe it or not, I think they were cheaper than the plastic ones. Now, earlier I mentioned leveling blocks. These little things right here. I don't use them under my tires. With the leveling blocks underneath your levelers and your stabilizers, I believe that the less you have to lower the stabilizers, the more stable your RV is going to be. The other thing I use after I get my trailer all level and I'm unhooked, even on my fifth wheel for extra stabilization, are X-Chocks. Now these things are pretty cool. They just go between your wheels. By adding the X-Chocks, it's going to add an additional layer of stability. Helps keep the trailer from moving around while you're walking around inside of it. Now that you have your trailer leveled, pulled into a campsite that has electrical hookups, next thing we do is we hook up our electrical system. Probably the most important thing you want to get for your RV, first off, is a surge protector. You want to protect your RV from possibly thousands of dollars in damage to your electrical system. A good surge protector will do just that. Now, travel trailers, fifth wheels, they're all going to vary. Some may be 30 amp, some may be 50 amp. In our situation, our fifth wheel is 50 amp. Our last travel trailer was 30 amp. So we travel with some dog bones. Now, on a travel trailer, we had a 50 amp to 30 amp dog bone, so we could connect our 30 amp trailer in case there were only 50 amp electrical connections at the RV park. Now that we have a 50 amp fifth wheel, we travel with a 30 amp to 50 amp. So always make sure you have a dog bone. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of different dog bones you can get. Right now we're hooked up at our house, so in addition to the extension cord we always carry, we have a 20 amp to a 50 amp dog bone as well. Now you're done with the electrical, you want to hook up your water. Now you want a nice long hose. You always want more than less. That way you're not scrambling trying to figure out how you're going to hook up your water. We carry a 50-foot 0G hose. Nice thing about this is it can collapse. Doesn't kink up, which it can kink. So that's false advertising, but I love this hose. Great little hose. Next thing we carry in addition to hose is a water pressure regulator. Now you want to get one of these because you never want to trust with the water coming out of the spigot at the RV park. You don't know if the pressure is going to be more than your RV can handle. And I like to keep mine set around 40 psi. Now, the other thing we have in place is we have a water filter. So believe it or not, between this and the filter we have inside the RV, we actually drink the water right out of the spigot at the RV park. Now, here comes the fun part. Everybody's favorite part. The Stinky Slinky. Now, for the Stinky Slinky, I use different gloves. All right. Now you can go get those disposable gloves. Those work just as well. I decided to go with these because I kept running out of the disposable gloves at the wrong times. So now I have one pair of gloves. I stick it with all the Stinky Slinky stuff and I'm good to go. These, another Home Depot purchase. Now, depending on your RV dealer and what they threw in, you may or may not got all your Stinky Slinky stuff. So you're going to want your elbow connection. This end goes in to the ground where your sewer connection is. This end hooks to your Stinky Slinky. Final bonus item is this valve right here. It's made by Valterra. It goes at the end of your sewer connection. It gives you an extra valve that keeps all that stuff trickling out. After you're done draining, shut your main valves. Then you can shut that valve and it keeps stuff from dripping out on you when you go to open it up the next time. Alright guys, so those are the things that I recommend to get started with your RV experience. The big thing to remember is now that you got this RV, get out there and use it. Doesn't matter what you have, just get started. Thanks guys. See you next week.